LaVoy, how old are you?
94.
When's your birthday?
21st day of January.
Okay. How old were you when you made a profession of faith?
10 years old.
Okay. So that's been 84 years ago. Who was pastor at the church when you made a profession of faith?
C.C. Caraway.
And where were you baptized?
In the creek and Paul Launders.
By Paul Launders. Well, tell us about the dressing rooms at the baptismal service.
The ladies had a sheet, and the men just had a bush there.
Men just got behind a bush. Okay.
Yeah.
How did y'all get to church? How did you travel?
In a wagon with mules.
Okay. Do you remember what the pastor's salary was at that time? Do you remember?
$30 a month.
$30 a month, okay. Name some of the men that was leaders of the church back when you were growing up. Some of them, we had a lot of them, but just some that you remember.
Just Mr. In the Water, Uncle Charlie Purr, Mr. Lee Till, and
Uncle John.
John Barr.
And you, Miss Old Frank Huff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Frank Huff.
Okay. I remember the old church had a bell tower. Did it have a bell in it?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the bell.
John and would ring that bell Sunday morning.
And I've heard y'all say he was kind of small and he just about taking him up when he pulled the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, get him off the ground.
Get him off the floor, huh? Okay. And the church that we're worshiping in now was built in what year?
71.
1971, that's right. When was the first homecoming celebrated here at Antioch? The homecoming. In what year?
The church voted to have a homecoming, but it was 54.
So that's been 61 years ago. Okay. We've observed homecoming every year except one. Why did we not observe that year? What happened?
The well blew out down there.
That's right. Okay. Did y'all have an organ when you were growing up
No.
in the church? Y'all didn't have an organ?
Yeah, he had a pump organ.
Who played it?
Grace, Hell War.
Grace Walters. Okay. I've always heard the story that y'all tell about Mr. Abercrombie that sit there by the window on the left-hand side, and he was a
You can start that one over.
You start that question. I can edit it out.
You need to. You said the new church. Now go back and say at the old church.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You gonna get that out?
Yeah, I get that.
In the old church, I've heard y'all talk about Mr. Abercrombie sit there on the left-hand side, and he chewed tobacco, and he spit on the floor. Is this true?
That's true.
Oh, goodness. Okay, that's about what you think we need to do.
Got any questions?
Let's see. Who was the pastor when the first homecoming was celebrated here at the church?
Claude Howe. Brother Howe.
I don't remember.
Claude Howe.
Claude Howe?
Brother Howe, yeah.
I'll ask it again. Then.
Okay, let me ask you again. You tell me, Mr. Brother
Okay.
Howe.
Okay.
Who was the pastor during the first homecoming that was celebrated at Antioch?
Brother Howe.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, it was brother. When I ask you this question, just say, can you do it? So.
Yeah, I'll do it again, and you just say Claude Howe. Brother
Yeah.
Claude Howe, okay?
Yeah.
Claude Howe.
Okay, let me say it again. All right. Who was the pastor when y'all celebrated the first homecoming?
Claude Howe.
Yes,
Claude
right.
Howe.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
I had a question I was thinking. Of course, he may not know this answer. I wonder who the first pastor was at that first homecoming, who preached that first homecoming. Does anybody remember that?
Mm.
Do you remember who preached the first homecoming service here?
The pastor.
The pastor.
Oh, the pastor at the church, Claude Howe, preached the first homecoming service? Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Pastor.
So what did y'all use for light before you got electric lights in 39?
The school, we had a school down there, and they had a dynamo, and they run it up to church.
Okay. It's a dynamo.
What is a dynamo?
A generator.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. And when did y'all get lights in the church?
I believe it was 43.
43?
I'm not certain, but
Okay.
Do you remember when we came out of the old church and came into the new church? Do you remember that?
yes,
And what? Can you explain how we did?
the choir led and pastor led down. All went out the same door.
And we could have the choir singing "To God Be the Glory." I mean, can we
Y'all
put
walked
that in?
across the street? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it didn't have. No, it was on the same side of the street.
Okay. Okay.
Oh goodness.
So let me ask that again. I'll ask that again, and then you say, choir came out with the pastor singing "To God Be the Glory." Okay. So, how did y'all make the transition from the old church to the new church? What did y'all do that day?
We had a service in the new church, and it was dedicated in May.
Okay. And y'all moved from the old church to the new church. What did y'all do to go from the old church to the new church? How did y'all do that?
We marched out. Like you said a while ago, we marched out. You know, the choir. I don't know how to get that in.
I'll edit it the best I can.
Okay. The choir, as LaVoy said, he had that part right there, you know.
They were singing out with the pastor, and then they sang "To God Be the Glory."
Mhm.
That'd have been something to see.
Mhm.
Now you get run over by a log truck if you tried to walk
Yeah,
across the street.
yeah, that's true.
So you, is there any more questions for Mr. Jesse Dale? I mean, for
Is there
Mr. LaVoy?
anything else, LaVoy, that you would like to say?
No,
Okay.
Well, what does it mean? What does homecoming mean to you? What does it mean when we talk about homecoming in Antioch?
it's a special day.
Special day.
Yes.
What makes it special? Special.
Yes.
What makes it so special?
You come from the new church to the old church to the new.
Homecoming, you said about the first homecoming. I've heard you talk about it. That there was only standing room. Is that right? When y'all had the first homecoming,
Standing room on,
we had the first homecoming in '54.
and a lot of wagons, and the few cars.
Well, Mr. Levoy, do you miss the old tables outside from homecoming, eating outside from homecoming, or is it much better now in the?
As old table, your daddy, he'd get him plate, and his sweat drop off of his nose.
That's true.
So you think he would have enjoyed the air conditioning?
Yeah,
Yeah, he probably would have.
yeah.
Oh,
What's your fondest memory of homecoming?
Mr. Pat Summers and Miss Summers sit down train behind me and Florence, their wife. And he said this was a town church, and Miss Summers was punching him. Said it wasn't.
okay.
All right. Anything else? All right.
That's great.
Thank you so much.